Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with us, the British Fist. With me, Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me is NJ.
Say it with me, people, because I know you want to for our video.
What's up? See, I even joined in there. That was pretty cool. You notice how I imitated what you did at the beginning of the video as well, because I'm such a douche that way. Subscribe down below, like down below, and comment down below. Don't even know why I say that anymore, because people obviously know. It's just like a little reminder, I guess. And what other reminder do we have for the people out there in YouTube land, NJ?
You know what to do, people, in the description box below. Okay, now.
Indeed, and we also have that WhatsApp video, which we'd like you to be part of. All the information will be in that description box below. I can't believe you missed out that I missed that one out, NJ. That's your thing.
It was indeed.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what to do. You've heard us say it many times now. Get your WhatsApp clips sent in to us via any of the links in the description box below. Let's move on to this Q&A. This very sacred Q&A number 8888. All the fat ladies, 88. Super Saiyan Jin 11. What are your thoughts on The Rock for the Royal Rumble? We are recording this technically before the Royal Rumble, so even though this Q&A is after the Royal Rumble, these will be our pre-thoughts. I think The Rock's going to win the WWE Championship and go on to WrestleMania and lose it to The Rock. Lose it to Cena, sorry. That's exactly what's going to happen in my opinion. I know it's going to happen.
Rock is our WWE Champion, and as for WrestleMania, shoot me now. Next.
What, for WrestleMania? How many times in the last 3 Q&As have you threatened suicide?
Well, anything with John Cena, he's good at that. He's even made little... No.
Jason, MUFC, WWE. Do you see the Hardy Boys returning to WWE or just Jeff? Well, I don't see Matt Hardy returning, no point. Jeff I could see returning. If WWE want to make them a tag team, which I don't think they would, though. Even though
it would be a good idea to bring big tag teams back like we've had DX come back. But I think that Jeff Hardy, if he's persuaded right by Emma Bourne, Randy Orton, to come back to the WWE for something, I'm sure he would.
Also, do you think we'll see John Morrison, MVP, and Sean Benjamin all returning in 2013?
Oh, yes!
They may have already done it at the Rumble, but we're obviously recording this before the Rumble, so you never know. MVP and Sean Benjamin have been rumoured, so...
I think they should all definitely come back, and the WWE should undo 2010.
Yeah, and definitely undo 2010. Please. The Random Girl 95. Who played the Psycho character better? TNA's Daphne, Victoria, HLE, or Mickie James? I would definitely say lesbian angles or for the win, Mickie James.
I think the fact that AJ is not as good as the others have been in the past. Victoria, yes, by the end she slipped up, but she did play her character well. Daphne, I don't know too much about, but Mickie James, the fact that she had so much going for her and still does now, Mickie James.
Who played the dominant powerhouse better? China, Jazz, Beth Phoenix, or Awesome Kong? All 4 big powerhouses. Awesome Kong, in my opinion, because she is a legit powerhouse, but China did compete with men. It's a competition between those 2, in my opinion.
I think you've got some great choices here. Awesome Kong, you could have her go up against anyone, and you could believe that she could beat anyone, especially John Cena. Beth Phoenix, I believe she's someone who the WWE mistripped by the end, but she's awesome at everything she did. Jazz, not quite there, but she's still dominant. China, without DX, she was still awesome. So, yes, it's a mix between Awesome Kong and China, but I'm going to go with China.
I'll go with Awesome Kong then, just to say away those people that say we always agree. Howard the Man, do you think WWE needs more silly gimmicks like Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny on different holidays? I think the British Fist just doing the Santa Claus gimmick is good enough. But as for WWE, I can understand why they do it for the kids, but for us people, wrestling fans, more serious wrestling fans, just do it occasionally, not every year.
I'm really surprised that Santa goes to see the WWE every year. So the fact that WWE must be paying them a lot, I think it's really good for them to do so.
Yes.
As for Easter Bunny, just hop along.
And give us our Easter eggs, please.
Do.
If you could trade groups, how would you feel if Aces and Eights went to WWE and the Shield to TNA? Ooh.
Before we go into this question, yes, you cannot reply to it straight away, because obviously we're recording this now. But is this before the Aces and Eights unmask themselves, or from this point? Because if it's from this point, then obviously Aces and Eights is almost finished, or maybe finished by now.
To be honest, Aces and Eights was finished like turning point when they just kept losing. So even by then, Aces and Eights is such a pointless faction. So I would feel very bad actually. But then if you get rid of the Aces and Eights, I think TNA would be really good. I think the Aces and Eights is killing it right now. So getting the Aces and Eights to WWE, a show I don't watch live anyway, I'd say fuck it, yeah, do it. I would personally. Sweet Latte, you may have a different opinion. I would. Sweet Latte 18. I just did that. I've done my camp hand again, MJ. If Rock never was in the Attitude Era, how do you think it would have been? And I heard that Austin was supposed to turn heel in 2000 before he was injured and faced Rock at WrestleMania 16. Do you wish it would have happened then instead of WrestleMania 17? And I heard Rock wanted to fight Sting at WrestleMania 21. How good do you think that match would have been? Well, let's deal with the first one first. If Rock was never in the Attitude Era, how do you think it would have been? You would have had Austin.
I think you would have had Austin, but when it comes to merchandise selling and probably more entertainment than this fierce knockout wrestler, I think the entertainment may not be as strong. You still had the one to cheer for, watch out for, but Rock brought something that Austin didn't. So I think it'd be a bit of a shame. It would have been.
And that's for Austin versus Rock. I do think Rock deserved a win at WrestleMania, but of course, Austin was the big man at the time. They had him win both the times they faced off. Triple H won in 2000, which I think it was necessary because they needed a heel to win in the main event at WrestleMania. I do think The Rock, if they were going to have Austin versus Rock, would The Rock have won? Because if The Rock was going to win, I would have said yes, do it. But if Austin was going to win again, then I would have said, just, might as well just let history take its course and be WrestleMania 17.
The fact they had that match go on for a few WrestleManias, I do believe that The Rock should have probably won earlier.
And as for Rock wanting to fight Sting at 21, I can understand. I mean, that was 2005, so Sting would have been he still would have been pretty decent in the ring at the time. It probably still would have been somewhat of a draw for WWE at the time, so would have been a good match. But Rock would have been doing movies. Sting would probably have been there for a year, not really wanting to work. So I don't know.
I'm not quite sure about Rock and Sting because I still want to see Sting and Taker, but Rock and Sting, if that was the rumor, then I think it would have been as big as Taker and Sting.
No way. Nick Glenn, top 5 most tragic deaths in wrestling. We have 4. You guys out there can decide the 5th. We got 4. Eddie Guerrero, very tragic death. Owen Hart falling from I can't remember exactly what happened there, but that was tragic. Randy Savage dying, I believe it was 2011, I believe it was. That was really tragic. Pillman was a tragic death in its way because he was going to be a star for the company. And then Andre. Andre was like our 5th pick because he was a big wrestler in that Hogan era. That was a very untimely death.
So we've got 5 here. A popular one, I'm going to say it before any of you do, is Lord Voldemort because with him, he definitely was in the company and I think people would hate what he did or why he did it. Yes, we don't agree with it, but for Lord Voldemort fans, I think they're a bit like, why did you have to do that to us?
He who shall not be named, AMJ.
Yes, that is the clue.
What is your favourite Guitar Hero game? Mine's Guitar Hero 3. And a follow-up question, have you beat Lou, the devil boss, on Expert? And can you give me some tips on how to beat him? My favourite game is Guitar Hero 2. I've always liked that game. I don't know why, I just prefer the songs in there. They're more metal-based and I'm more of a metal fan, so I like that. And as for beating Lou, yes, I have beat Lou on Expert. And as for beating him, all I can say is practice and keep going. That's all I can say. I can't really give you any specific tips other than keep pressing those buttons and strumming those frets. There we go. Welsh Gaming 15. If the YWC was wrestling and you wrote it, who would be the champion and what would your closest friends in the YWC position be? So if we were writing our own little wrestling promotion, let's call it the YWCF or something like that, the YWC Federation, who would be our champion? We'd be the tag champs. I know that. We'd book ourselves as the tag champs. But who would be the champion? The YWC champion, the biggest man in the YWC. Who would it be?
I'll give you a clue.
I think he would book himself to the top, but there we go. And who would your closest friends be in the...
A British Fist faction.
A British faction of all the British YouTubers. Like, so you've got AsGeek11... You've got James Morehouse, any other British YouTubers you can think of, stick in there with the British Fist. There are plenty of British YouTubers out there. You've got Kid of Wrestling as well. There are loads of British wrestlers. If you are a British YouTuber, please don't hesitate to send in your applications to be part of the British Fist faction.
And if you're American or Canadian, come to the UK and you can join us.
If you have a British passport, or we might just end up feuding against you guys. Who really knows? Do you think Money in the Bank is a lazy way of pushing people? Yes, I do. I really do think it is a lazy way of pushing people.
I'm going to say the last, when it became a pay-per-view, yes, WrestleMania, I think, had more speciality, more meaning to it. I'm not saying all pay-per-view Money in the Banks were bad, I'm just saying the majority of them have been.
Yeah, it's like instead of trying to really get this guy up the card progressively and give him a world title, you just give him a briefcase and he becomes a main eventer and then goes back down to the mid-card again. So it is lazy writing to book a main event star, in my opinion. Do you think Drew should turn on 3MB and face Heath and Jinder at WrestleMania and win? Would there be any point?
I will say that Drew turning on them eventually should happen because I think Drew still has the chance to become in a better place. The other two, I think Gina's messed up, and Heath Slater's messed up from day one.
Heath Slater's always been messed up in my eyes.
Yes.
Power Spy in 1 games. If WCW won the Monday Night Wars, would you be watching it? Yeah. Because they would be the... Well, it depends if WWF was still around. If WWF wasn't still around, yeah, I'd be watching it. But if WCW was still around, yeah, I'd probably watch it. TNA wouldn't exist, but it would give us 2 companies to watch.
I think WWF, if they were still around, I'll still be probably a WWF fan to the rest that was still there. But WCW would still be a go-to kind of show.
It would. It would still be a show that we reviewed, basically, wouldn't it? Like TNA. Mighty Mitch 93. If you guys were to have your own faction and both allowed a max of 3 superstars, each who would be your dream picks?
You've only said 3.
Past or present?
I'm quite think 4. But I'm going to go with 3 for the sake of this question. And yes, people are going to be like, oh, not much of a faction there. But you know me, there's a reason these 3. There's going to be Bobby Roode, there's going to be Triple H, and I'm going to say they're the 2 I'd have as the main ones. And it's hard to think. So you go yours, I'm trying to think my 3rd.
Okay, I'll think this. My powerhouse, I would have Andre the Giant as my powerhouse. As my fundee, I would have the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and as my main guy in the faction, The Rock. What a faction that would be! What a great little variation I've got there.
Pretty strong indeed, and as you were saying that, my brain unfroze, and my missing person was Wade Barrett. It took me a while to think of it, but there we go. We've got that faction versus this faction. There we go.
Mine would win so badly. Jeremy Tube 21, although you do have Triple H, and he would politic his way into winning probably.
Yeah.
Jeremy Tube 21, most shocking Royal Rumble winner. Probably should have addressed this in the fucking video where we talked about the Royal Rumble, but we missed it. I'm really sorry. Chris Benoit and Rey Mysterio and Lord Voldemort, sorry, who shall not be named, even though I don't give a fuck, and I'll still say his name. Chris Benoit, Chris Benoit, Chris Benoit. You may say that, but we're not in Muggle. We're in Muggle land, NJ. We can say these things. We're not wizards, or are you? You do have the look of a wizard, I will say that. They were both shocking. No one really thought Benoit or Rey Mysterio were going to win the Rumble. Brett and Lex Luger, because no one thought there was going to be 2 winners, so I'd say they're kind of shocking.
And no one ever thought John Cena was ever going to win a Rumble.
Favourite Royal Rumble return? I know what yours is. Triple H. Right, okay. Edge's return when he came and won the Rumble, I did like that. Mr. Perfect's return in 2002 was pretty good. Just from my own personal preference, Road Dogg return in 2012, I really like that one as well. So there are my 3. There are probably more. Give us your favourite Rumble returns in the comment section. Best wrestler to never win the Rumble? Macho Man Randy Savage, probably for me.
Wade Barrett. I'm going to keep saying it until he actually wins the Rumble, wins the championship. So Barrett.
Imagine if Barrett won the Rumble in 2013.
Barrett, he did. I'm sorry. That was just for the sake of this Q&A.
Yeah, as if you're speaking to him.
I am.
Alright, calm
For
down.
frick's sake, Dan.
John Cena, can you just stop getting pushed? And Justin Bieber, can you just fuck off? Anyway, would you like to see TNA do something like the Royal Rumble, for example, the 20-man Rumble? They shouldn't really copy WWE. They should try and do in their own things, really, shouldn't they?
Option C is not actually their full Battle Royal or Royal Rumble, but it's still, once you've done all this, you've got the option C to actually go on and do what the Rumble offers. So I think with that, yes, they've changed the whole schedule, but if that is still floating around, then that's their equivalent to
They
it.
should definitely try and do something different to what WWE do. That is essentially what counterculture is, which TNA offers. John Leslie Reed. Who are your 5 mid-card wrestlers that never won titles that you felt deserved to? I assume you mean world titles here. Oh, else because there are so many titles, everyone would have won a title. Rick Rude, Owen Hart, Mr. Perfect, and Reza Ramon were 4 guys that stick out to me that never won a world title. You can say Wade Barrett again.
I'm close to saying Barrett, but the fact is, even though he's going for the IC Championship, he's still a main eventer to me. And in TNA, I think it's that other British guy that everyone keeps supporting, Magnus.
Yeah, Magnus, that's a good shout, actually. What about Matt Morgan as well? I think Matt Morgan is a guy who I felt probably should have won a world title by now, but never did. There are a couple in TNA that you could comment in the comment section below. Your thoughts? Favorite WCW Cruiserweight? Eddie Guerrero.
I was watching this DVD,
Viva la Raza.
That DVD, awesome. The first disc shows all this great matches against Dean Malenko. Bam!
I'd liked Rey Mysterio as well, and Billy Kidman. They were two of my favourite. They even formed a tag team as well. So I like them, and Eddie Guerrero as well. What's your favourite movie that has a wrestler in it? I don't really watch too many movies. The one I did watch was Scorpion King, so
awesome.
Yeah, I'll say that one.
That is definitely a really good one. I like Walking Tall for the fact that it was based on a true movie and The Rock represented it. Very awesome indeed.
Luca Quarter. That's a really cool name. I bet the ladies, unless it is a lady, but whether you're like, I bet the opposite sex loads for your name, Luca Quarter. 1. Do you think the WWE need more younger characters and more baby faces? Well, they're already bringing in younger talent or more newer talent, so I'd say no on that one. But in terms of baby faces, they turned Miz babyface, they turned Rhea babyface. So now they've got a good amount of baby faces, just they're not main big baby faces. Like, for example, the Ryback will probably be somewhere down the line.
I don't know why you asked this question, because with Bruce Clay bringing in future stars in the ring to dance with him, I think he's helping the WWE grow in that aspect.
Sarcastic face, NJ? Do you think Christian deserves one more match for the World Heavyweight Championship? No, he should just stick in the mid-card where he's definitely better.
Christian fans, I'm sorry, but his title reign didn't really thrill us in any way. I'm pretty sure there's some of the YWC or wrestling fans that don't think that is true.
But to all the Christian fans out there, you can praise the Lord that he might still get a main event pushed down the line, even though God himself, that's why Triple H people said that it will never happen on his behalf. Praise the Lord. Anyway, that was pretty good. Who would be your dream superstars in your teams out of WWE and TNA? 5 superstars each.
Again, got to think.
So we got WWE. Is this WWE versus TNA or is it? Yeah, just WWE versus TNA. I'll tell you what, if you do WWE, I'll do TNA. And so if you want to go, do you want me to go first? Or
we'll do one each, and it might help me give me time.
Okay, so you're the WWE team, I'm the TNA team.
Okay, I'll start with Barrett.
I will start with Austin Aries.
I'm going to say Sandow.
James Storm.
Right.
Bobby Roode.
Triple H.
Matt Morgan.
And Kane.
Kenny King. Ryback. Fucking hell, man. You really hate Ryback. Anyway, Space 13 bound. If you guys are part of the WWE creative team and were given the task of turning Johnson, this is like the Jeff Jarrett version of the British Fist Q&A with NJ. When and how would you do it? The best way of doing it would have been when he was against The Rock, because you know you've got an over babyface in The Rock, and using The Rock to facilitate a heel turn with John Cena with the boos and everything like that would have been a perfect way to do it, especially in the main event of WrestleMania.
2 things here. Number 1, the fact that he's going to probably face The Rock again at WrestleMania. I think if he loses for the second time, John Cena would be like, no, go crazy. Or there's 3 ways. There's that way, or there's the fact that if he realises he keeps losing matches that he shouldn't, especially when it comes to pay-per-views.
Like AJ Styles.
Well, they've missed that because he was losing a few week after week after week, and CM Punk bashes him on that, but they missed that. Or someone goes after his father again, and he actually stays angry, so going, my father's happy, I'm happy again.
Yay! Noah James from Twitter. If you could release whichever wrestlers you wanted to from TNA, who would you choose and why? Oh, this is a great question. Garrett Bischoff.
Eric Young.
Robbie E.
Bobby T.
He's alright. Who else would we release, MJ? They're the main ones, aren't they?
I'd release Jeff frickin' Hardy.
ODB. That's it, yeah.
ODB.
There are loads. ODB's alright, but you said that. You said that
Jeff Hardy, yeah.
Jeff Hardy, he's the main guy in the company. You can't just release him.
Yep.
Anyway, in order for the wrestling business to gain back interest it has lost, what do you think would have to change?
Release Jeff Hardy.
Then you realise doing that, all the weed smokers that were watching TNA would have just gone, like all 5 of them. That would change. I think that WWE and TNA, I think TNA are doing it a little bit better, but I think especially WWE needs to go in a more realistic direction for the company. Like movies, you know they're acted, but you're emotionally invested in them because they feel real. I think wrestling needs to get to the point where it feels real again, even though we know it's fake. At least try and make it feel real to us.
Improve the main event scene, because if that's what's going to draw your eyes, draw your attention, yes, rest of the card is important, but with the WWE and TNA focus on the main event, at least give us more variety.
Indeed. And that is the end of another Q&A. What was the number of this? 88 again? It was all the fat ladies when it 88. So there we go. So that's another Q&A. Master British Fist.
Ka-ching!
Ka-ching, indeed, as I move my hand to try and trick you because I am the new magician of the British Fist by WC. Baby. Do you want to play us out, MJ? Yeah.
1 minute, I'll be there in a minute.
Sure.
I'll talk to little Jimmy. Now, anyway, YouTubers, thank you very much. And all I can say is you've made this Q&A so great. So keep the questions coming. Send them in any way possible. And until next time, YouTubers, do this to support the British Fist. And goodbye.